Hello and welcome to Organizational Leadership Final Exam. I guess you're feeling pretty good at this point in time because you're almost finished. I know when I finished courses, I felt pretty good. But this is a new a way that I'm trying to employ as a final exam. It's an assessment component that I use. Actually, it's my favorite strategy to use. I have used discussion forums, and I've tried to have class discussion, and mostly it's kind of difficult because it's very difficult to assess individuals as they're making contributions to the discussion. But in this particular case, I want to share with you, if you'll scroll down to the very bottom of the page, a couple of things before we begin. First of all, I want to discuss with you the Harkness seminar. And as you can see that, let me share, this is a site that takes you to the reflective process of the Harkness seminar. And on this particular site, you can see that here's a video. There's links that I have on here, examples. This is a very powerful tool that you may use, and I'm sure you will. Again, it's my favorite strategy to use in a discussion forum. But here's a video that I want to share with you. Watch that video that's on that link, and I'm taking you to a part of this particular link to kind of share you the assessment tool that I'm going to use in this particular class. It's not an open discussion around a table. We're going to use our Moodle forum as the open discussion, like we're at a round table, and I'll share with that a little bit more information about that in a minute. But
who's speaking when, and they draw these sort of diagrams so that there's a visual map of how the conversation is going.
The other thing I just want to point out, since I'm showing these to you, is would you say...
I want to pause this. Now, as she said, this is a discussion of a group of people discussing a concept or whatever they're discussing, but it needs to be on task. And you can see that as you look at this, you follow my cursor, you can see that this is a really powerful discussion. Everyone made equal contributions in the discussion, and you can say with the thick black lines that was very powerful. And if somebody were to come to me and say, all right, what evidence do you have that you were successful in this particular discussion, you can provide this document to them. And I will complete one of these documents, and I'm going to share that with you just in a minute. And I will post it on the website so that you can look at it to see what I'm talking about. The only thing that I regret is I didn't have the opportunity to include more of these throughout this course of study, but that I'm hoping that you will take this and think about, be creative in your own right, that you might be able to employ this in a future discussion that you may have. But as you can see, look here, this is a person's name. Each of the names are around this. It's kind of like an oval table, but you can see that this person's name, there's no lines to it. What does that tell you? Well, either the person is given the job as being the scribe for that particular discussion, or they're absent, or they're sick, or they might be laying their heads down, or they just don't want to participate. But that tells you clearly who is participating and who is not participating in the discussion. Now, one thing that I also need to add is, you're not a teacher anymore. You're more of a facilitator. So if I were to put my name on the discussion table, I would be defeating the purpose of my job or my role. I am the facilitator. I am the person to make sure that the discussion is continuing. However, there could be a moderator of the course, and that moderator should have, if I'm guessing which one is the moderator in this particular group, it's this name right here where the cursor is, or this person. These people are making some pretty considerable contributions to this particular discussion. So if I had to choose, or even this one down here, but I'm thinking more than likely this is the moderator for this particular group. But let me kind of play it forward.
This is a good conversation? Yes. How about that? Right.
Now, I can look at this conversation and immediately tell that it's kind of one-sided. This is how you can say, well, this is a one-sided argument or a one-sided discussion. You can immediately tell by looking at this. You can see that there are some people who are making, like here's one. Immediately I can tell 2 contributions to this particular discussion. What's up? Why didn't they get involved? And see, that's where you have a moderator. A moderator is a person who steps in and make sure that people are making equal contributions to the discussion. And sometimes you do that through Socratic questioning. You want to prod and poke them and get them to make contributions to the discussion. And that's the job of the moderator in a Harkness discussion seminar. So, but that's video. If you have a chance, please watch that video. And let me take you back. There's other information on here also about things about the reflective process that are very good that you may want to employ in the future. But this is, again, back to the Moodle site. You can see that this is the actual movie here. And let me kind of share with you very quickly a brief introduction. This is a boy that's on trial for the murder of his father. The film, 1959, I believe. And I think I was just a little bitty guy at that point in time in my life. Black and white. The movie is 12 Angry Men. And you can look at the list, the introductions, the stars here. Henry Fonda. And then all these people are very, Ed Begley, Jack Warden, E.G. Marshall. All these people became very strong and powerful actors in their own right, but this is probably one of the first movies they ever made. But that's the video. It's an hour, I think, just a little over an hour long. Very powerful. And one of the professors that I've had many leadership classes. One of the professors that I had used this. And out of everything that I have learned in all the leadership courses that I have taken, this is the one that stuck with me more than any of them. He put us all in a room, put the movie on, and said, "Now, all right, discuss what you have learned throughout this course." And I thought that was an amazing way. But you know, one of the key points that you have to make, you have to be self-directed. You know, you have to participate. You have to force yourself to participate, and that's not a problem with you guys. You're graduate level students, and you've been through the ringer. But this is the site. This is where the movie's located. After you get finished watching the movie, what I'm going to do is as you're watching the movie, you go to the seminar and you can see the forum. Let me take you back. I might have gone a little bit too quickly. But the 12 Angry Men forum down at the bottom of this page. And if you click on it, it will take you to the actual forum. This is a simple discussion forum, and that means that everybody makes an equal contribution to the discussion. Now, you don't have to write chapters, you don't have to write books, but let me bring up the probably the most important part of this particular course, and which is this page. Okay, these are all the concepts that we learn throughout this particular course. As you're participating in the Harkness discussion, look at some of the contributions that the actors made in the making of this movie. See if you can see where you can recognize their traits, and maybe say, well, Henry Fonda was a natural born leader. Some of the traits that the book would allude to that would support that. And you can see that how did Henry Fonda engage other people's strengths within the group, and you can see that it has the philosophy and styles of the people. Some of the most important, creating a vision. Did Henry Fonda create a vision in this video? I think he did. I really think he did. He knew what the vision was before he walked in, and some of the things that he did throughout this, I don't want to give it away, but some of the things that he did during this video is very interesting, and you can see what he did to make those contributions. Here, establishing a constructive climate. Oh, it was so negative in the beginning. And then listening to the outgroup members. There were many outgroup members in this particular group that didn't feel a part. What did Henry Fonda do to bring those outgroup members back into the mix so that they have good and open discussion? Conflict, huge. You'll see a lot of conflict throughout this video. Just make comments about them. Say, what happened? What did this person do to handle that particular conflict? Give an example. Ethics, huge. And of course, probably the most important one, you'll know exactly what I'm speaking of at the end of this video when I'm speaking of overcoming obstacles. So that is pretty much the points of interest that I would like for you to discuss during this forum. That is the one thing. Let me go back, but all you have to do is reply and make the comments. A couple of sentences and back off. Let someone else make a contribution. Am I looking for this to be done in one night? No. It might be a good idea for some of you who might demonstrate some leadership qualities to start the discussion during the beginning of the last week, maybe, perhaps. But that would be a good thing. And then what I'm going to do now, here's my point. This is it's new. I don't know that this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. And I like the concept. I've done this Harkness seminar or discussion many times, and like I said, once you participate in it, you know exactly what I'm speaking of. But I'm going to download the Harkness discussion here, and this is a template. If you download it, this is what it looks like. I've already got it headed for the group name and everything, and a list. The only thing I haven't put on there is the date, and that's really not necessary. And let me show you. This is what I use. I'm using Office 10. That's worked in Office 7. I have purchased this tablet. This is kind of a cool tablet to use here. You can see this is a Huion, Huion. This tablet costs $59, and it's something that I use. It may be handy for you in the future because you can do things like this. And what's really neat is I read an article where a person was using this, and they had a one of those projectors that you can do like trying to think of the name. It's a projector that you can put the document down, and as you're writing on it, you can see it projected upon the wall. An Elmo is the word, but they call them document viewers too. But I guess probably the generic, not a generic name, but a brand name would be Elmo. But this is one of the article again. Like I said, this is the area here. Oop, let me go back. I guess I have to turn the pen. I have to choose the pen. But this is, you can see this area here. This is the key. I'm not going to use this. This is for, you may want to get to use this sometime in the future, depending on the age of the discussion group and that kind of information. Like say for instance, if Hillary, and I'm going to pick on Hillary, if Hillary started a off the wall discussion with, I have to get my pen back. Say Hillary started an off-the-wall discussion with Jenna, and she was interrupting Jenna as she was trying to participate in the group. And I know Hillary wouldn't do this. Forgive me, Hillary, but this is that's an example. That's what these keys are for if you want to use those in the future. But this is your assessment tool that you can use. Sometimes you have to show proof of participation. I'm doing this for SACS. This is the final exam. This is the final exam that I'm using for our SACS assessment that we have to do, and this is what I'm using as my assessment tool. So as you carry on the discussion, what I'm going to do, as you're carrying on the discussion, let's say for instance someone kicks it off. Let's say Hillary kicks it off, and Christian responds, and then Stephanie jumps in, and then David and Taylor jumps back to Jenna, and the discussion is carrying on. And you can see that as you look at the discussion forum, and everyone is making contributions, you can see that what I'll do is after the discussion is done, or as it's going on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out this device that I have, this tablet, in this Microsoft Word document, and I'm going to start making these connections. It's, like I said, very, very good and powerful. And what I'm looking for is if you make a significant contribution to the discussion, I will make the line. Very simple. I'm not looking for, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be long, but they need to be significant contributions to the discussion. And as we do this, now what I'm looking for is like, say, I'm looking for about at least five connections to get full participation within this particular final exam. And but you know me, I'm very easy when it comes to that. But I am looking that you make significant contributions to this particular discussion. But this is what I'm looking for. When I get finished with this, what I'm going to do at that point in time is I will. Let me get back to that website. I will, after I'm finished with the discussion, what I'll do is immediately when I'm finished, I will drop it into this folder. I'll put it in with this template so that you guys can have a really good idea of what I'm speaking about. Now, if you have any questions about this, or if you have any concerns, please let me know early on before, if you think that this is the wrong direction to go or something like, just shoot me an email and let me know if you may have a better idea. I'm always open for new ideas. But I would love to try this at least once. And again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.